super grateful for paid partnerships. They allow these trips to be a reality, especially partners like today's, and that's BetterHelp. BetterHelp's mission is to make starting therapy easier. That's something I can really get behind. There was a time in the not so distant past where I was really struggling and I felt really depressed and depleted and I needed help. So it was through a video segment just like this one on another channel, I discovered BetterHelp and decided to sign up. Let me tell you, it's really easy to get going with therapy. Go to their app or you use their website, you fill out a quick questionnaire and you can get started with a therapist within a couple of days. One of the things with BetterHelp is they make sure that all the therapists on the platform are well qualified. You can chat with your therapist through voice call, video call, or text. My personal favorite was the video call. I just felt like I could connect with my therapist way easier if I could see their face. And that was my preferred method. If you guys find you're not connecting with your therapist, it's really easy to swap out. It's free of charge, super simple, so you can make sure that your therapy sessions are with people that you find you connect with a little bit better. So if any of you guys feel like you're struggling out there and you feel like you can benefit from therapy, there's no easier way to start therapy than through BetterHelp. And if you use the link down below or the link here on screen, betterhelp.com/budnick, you get 10% off your first month of therapy. And also if you use that link, it lets BetterHelp know that this segment was a success and it helps for more paid partnerships between us, which allows for more videos like this to be a reality and it helps the channel out. So if any of you guys are considering therapy, use that link. Guys, thank you for watching. Thank you BetterHelp for being a paid partner of today's video. Let's get back to hiking the Himalayan mountains. So we made the trek from Jahan this morning to upper Pasand, and it was 600 to 800 meters in elevation gain, about 12 kilometers. I'll show you guys everything on the map a little bit later. But for now, So in this town, we're at 3,300 meters in elevation. This isn't the highest I've been. I was actually on that trip in my early 20s, one of the first videos I ever posted on my YouTube channel, back when I was in Japan, climbing Mount Fuji. I remember that experience quite fondly, and it's fun to reflect on some of my earlier trips as I'm staring at that Annapurna 2. And my video making didn't really start there. I developed my passion for creating videos back in high school during communications technology when I'd make some funny videos with friends for the morning announcements and just for grades. And that's when I decided that that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to make videos for the rest of my life. And shortly after I graduated high school, I think it was that summer, I went on my very first multi-week canoe trip, the Mississippi River, and that's the very first video that I have on my channel. But it wasn't all easy, which I'll get into a bit later. But I think I want to look around this town, maybe eat some food, and take a little break. Good morning, everyone. 5:45, we're getting up nice and early to get on the trail as the sun rises. So we're quite lucky on this trip. We have 2 porters who are going to be carrying the majority of my gear and Harmon's gear. Allows us to just focus on acclimatization, enjoying the trip, and just making sure that we're able to get through it. It's quite a luxury, and one that I really greatly appreciate. And it's also giving jobs to both Sanjeev and Song. They have a lot of our camping equipment in there. That's why these bags look super big, but they're also just absolute tanks. These guys are very strong, and they're well adapted to the altitude around here. Part of me and both Harmon both feel a little bit guilty as well, but very grateful. We got out extra early this morning. I think we're about an hour and a half before we left yesterday. And this is a very popular route, so lots of truckers, a lot of people have to share the trail, which I don't mind, but there's something about having it all to yourself that's pretty special. It's cold, I didn't get as much sleep, but with all this to ourselves, and the lighting, it's perfect. So here in Nepal, there's 2 major religions, Hinduism and Buddhism. Hinduism accounts for about 80% of the religious population, while Buddhism is the remaining 20. Where we started yesterday morning in the town of Chame, that was kind of a mix between Hindu and Buddhism. And as we're working our way up in altitude, basically predominantly Buddhist. And both cultures get along very, very well. Is this a natural goat path?
Natural, this is natural Himalayan concrete. We found in Danasorna regions of Nepal.
Here's a quick overview of the map. This whole area is the Annapurna Massif, the highest point being Annapurna 1, the highest mountain in the range, at just over 8,000 meters. Though there's also Annapurna 2, which we had beautiful views of today, and Annapurna 3, which we were looking at this afternoon. We took the Jeep up here from Kathmandu, which is obviously way back here. But we started the trek 2 days ago at the town of Cham. Yesterday, we made the hike up to Upper Pasand, where we spent the night. Woke up this morning, continued up to where we are now in the town of Manang. Over the next couple days, we're going to make our way up to Talocho Lake, back around through Thralong Pass, the highest point in the trek at 5,400 meters, continuing to meet back up by way of Jeep, come back around. This will be part 2, and I think we're going to be coming to this town, Jendruk, where we will be hiking up to Annapurna Base Camp, where we will have amazing views of Annapurna 1, one of the most, if not the most, dangerous and deadly mountains to climb in the entire world. So this is a 2-part trek. First part being the north side of the Annapurna Massif, the second part being up to Annapurna Base Camp from the south. It's been an amazing couple of days so far. Absolutely so stoked to be here in the town of Manang. I'm a little sunburned, so decided to spend 2 days here. Tomorrow we're doing a quick acclimatization hike, and then just resting. Lots to come. It's only going to get more beautiful as we gain altitude. So stoked to be here. It's a remarkable place. So currently at 3,500 meters in elevation, and we're getting up there, though this is not quite the highest that I've ever been. The highest that I've ever been was just over 4,000 meters. That was when I climbed Mount Kinabalu, which is the tallest mountain in Southeast Asia. It's on the island of Borneo, and I climbed it in my early 20s when I was an exchange student during university in Singapore. During this time, I had already developed my passion for videography. That was done during high school. And so when I climbed this mountain, I was filming my experience. And while my experience of climbing the mountain was unforgettable, my videography filming experience was unforgettable for other reasons. YouTube around this time was a thing. People were posting videos, making it their jobs, and the thought of becoming a YouTuber was a very appealing one for me. Though, when I was filming this video, I was stumbling. I remember clearly at the bottom of the mountain when I was trying to summarize my experience, I was tripping over my thoughts, stumbling over my words, and I was just so riddled with insecurity. I had this voice in the back of my head telling me that I couldn't do it, that I wasn't good enough, that this wasn't for me, and I could never make it work. I never finished the video. I never edited it. I don't even think I finished filming it. It never became a thing. And that pretty much summarizes my life around this time. My university experience, I was a very insecure person. I went to a school to pursue my passion for videography, though the school in which I went to and the program that I was in was not exactly what I expected, though I just stuck it out because I was also very aimless. I was aimless, passionless, and insecure. And so I pretty much floated through that part of my life, through my 20s. But that all began to change in my late 20s. I got a little bit more confidence, tried a few things here and there. It really didn't all come together until my older brother Max invited me out on a camping trip. And yeah, things started to shift in such a good way. But we'll get to that part of the story in a little bit. We'll just leave it there for now. We're up at the sun this morning because the views, the lighting, absolutely spectacular first thing. We have the whole trail to ourselves, so can't beat getting out bright and early. Hey, she's.
Hi.
Hey, is that a mango?
No, this is mute.
It's what?
Mute. That mountain mute.
So not mango.
No.
It's so confusing.
The white ones you say are goat, and the brown ones are...
Wait. This one is a mango.
Mountain goat will be seen again that today
After Yakarga,
Yeah.
we'll see that day definitely. Yakarga maybe on the way. I can.
But Yakarta is Yaks, right?
That sometimes coming as mountain god.
So we left the town of Manang this morning, and we're working our way up to 4,000 some odd meters. We actually ended up spending 2 nights in Manang because we wanted to acclimatize. It's good for the body to get used to the new altitude before you go higher, because otherwise it makes the trip really difficult. So we spent 2 nights in Manang, just hanging out. Harmon and I did a nice day hike yesterday. First thing in the morning, we climbed a local hill and just enjoyed the view. The rest of the day was just spent hanging out and resting. It's great to be back on the trail, heading up to Talucho Lake, base camp there, 4,000 some odd meters. This mountain here, it's another 8,000 meter peak. Behind here, Annapurna 1, that's the only 8,000 in this massif, and that's also one of the top 15 highest mountains in the world. Nice little tea house here. Surprisingly, we still have Wi-Fi, we still have electricity. I just had a hot shower. It was warm for about 12 seconds, and then it got really cold, and that's why I'm in my jacket, because I kind of felt a little hypothermic briefly. But it's okay. We're good. All's good. Yeah, good to be here. It's been a nice day. Big day tomorrow. Short day, but lots of elevation. Tibetan bread, jam, honey. Oh, it is so good. So this is our first morning sleeping in, and both Harmon and I are feeling a bit of the altitude, but we slept great, but it does feel like a little bit less oxygen in the air. Today we're going about 700 meters up in altitude to Lake Tilicho, where we're going to be camping out, but we're just going to go on some morning Joe, and then we're going to putter around for a bit. So, a lot of our stuff has been carried by our porters in these here blue bags, but we're swapping that out. I'm going to start carrying out here. We got to climb something like 700 meters in elevation today. The porters staying here along with our guide. Harmon and I are going to hike up to Tolito Lake. We're going to make a nice overnight camp there. So, getting ready for all that. So far I've done 260, which is actually, I'm really happy about that. Got every 50 meters and taking a little short break, catch my breath. Getting close to about half the oxygen we experience at sea level at this altitude. And I live pretty close to sea level, living in Toronto, Ontario, in Canada, so it's as high as I've ever been. So definitely a new experience. You probably could have taken a 30-minute nap. You killing it.
I'm feeling good. Good job. Halfway point.
At first I had to stop every 50 meters, but then I just really slowed it down, just like a minute. Just I don't know what it is, but like, I look over and I see all these peaks. Oh man, so like, hey guys, I find myself getting emotional right now. I don't know what it is. Always when it comes to the Himalayas. It's so amazing. What an amazing place. It's just so nice to be here. It's been a wonderful trip so far, though. Coming up here to Talicho Lake, by far my favorite part. Hard to beat. We got some 7,000-meter peaks behind us. Some of the largest in the world. It's so surreal. In fact, any of these 7,000-meter peaks are taller than any other mountain outside the Himalayas. That turned out to be a really fun day. It's awesome being up here at 5,000 meters. I had probably said that 20 times already, but feels good. I'm absolutely exhausted. I was going to do a little bit of a story time tonight, but I think that should wait till tomorrow, because I don't have a lot in me. I'm tired, so I'm crawling in my sleeping bag and see you guys in the morning. Good night. Good morning, everyone. I had an okay sleep. Kept waking up. But, 5,000 meters at the highest lake in the world, the Utah Lake. Or at least that's what one of the signs says. So we're surrounded by snow, not quite in it, partly because I'm quite used to camping out in these conditions, maybe not at altitude, but you know, in the snow and in the cold. And that wasn't always the case. In fact, I was quite against it the first time my brother Max brought me out winter camping back in 2020, and I thought that was a ridiculous idea. I thought camping in the winter was silly, and I was hesitant, but I decided to go. I filmed the whole thing, and we spent 3 or 4 days in his homemade hot tent, and we had an awesome time. A snowstorm, hi-fi camera equipment didn't work, and I filmed most of it on my cell phone, and posted that video that I made, and it did well. It was the first video, I think, that actually did really well on YouTube. It got a couple 100,000 views over a few months, and at that time I realized like that was it. That was what I had to do. I was always into camping, but I kind of lost that over the years. And there's this amazing Ontario outdoors, and so I decided that's what I was going to pursue. So that winter I made a few more winter camping videos. None of them had done very well. That summer, filmed a few canoe trips. Mostly, actually I believe all of them were ones that my brother had dragged me out on. So he's basically holding my hand, pulling me out on these adventures, and I'm just filming that whole experience. And that's when I picked up my first canoe, Patches, which has since become an icon. But none of those videos did particularly well. But I knew that as that next winter approached, the winter of 2021, that I had to get back out and start filming winter camping content again. And that's exactly what I did. I think it was New Year's Eve. I went out and filmed my first solo winter camping trip. Posted that, gave a couple thousand views, got a couple more subscribers. And the week later, did the same thing. And then the ball just started moving. Got a bunch of comments, people started following, people were liking the videos, and I believe it was the 4th video that year that I posted at the end of January 2021. And that video went viral. It's the most popular video on my channel still to this day. Has 24 million views at this point. And when I turned on AdSense at that time, I started making money. It was like $30 a day, $50 a day, $70 a day, and then I could go full time. I was able to go full time as a YouTuber since January of 2021. It's quite funny because all those years in between my first video, which was the Mississippi River canoe camping trip, and the 2020s, I was kind of lost, and we all came back to making camping videos. I think that's good for now. I think we'll continue story time a little bit later. There's a lot more to tell. No, just gonna enjoy the view. We are heading back to the main track. We're going to be heading to Agar, and that should be a good stepping point for us to head up to Long Pass, which is going to be the pinnacle of this part of the trek, which is going to be the highest point of the whole Agar circuit at 5,400 meters. It'll be higher than I've ever been. He's definitely struggling at 5,000 meters, so we'll see how I do at 5,400. Hopefully, I will be a little bit more adapted to the altitude at that point, but we'll see. But on the way, we got some more of it. so grateful for the porters. They're so strong and well adapted for the altitude. For us to get and for me also, this trip is off the coattails of a 7-year island survival video where we're a little beat up after that one, so kind of nice to have a little bit of a lighter load as we hike the Himalayas, especially after that last trip.
So bold.
Before we headed up this valley, now we're jumping over this here ridge to So Han and I both had the same sentiment. We were standing all these towns, and we really enjoyed the experience of being in the tent the other night. So we hiked out from town 15-something minutes just over yonder, and decided to pitch our tents amongst the mountains. It's so beautiful out here. It's like I go through these stages on this trip of just like, you know, hanging out, being a little bit apathetic, and then just pure excitement and bliss. And so excited to be here. Alright, well, I'm all snuggled up in my nice warm sleeping bag in my nice tent. I'm really grateful for the view right now. Honestly, it's made things a little easier, but it's not always about the view. In fact, I think that it's more about just getting out there. It's like part of the view is in the first place. The first is lacking so many pieces of view. I didn't have proper sleeping bag for some of the cold conditions I was putting myself into. I didn't have time to tarp for the first 20 hours I slept there until spring and summer when I had to go just so I could get away from the bugs. But yeah, just basically just got out and made it happen. And I think that's something beautiful. I love filming the winter or making content or what other people are doing or anything about much about camping. I barely knew how to chase for someone who's solo pilot. But the thing is, it never happened. It was always coming up, so some pretty serious downs. 2021 was one of the best years of my life. Doing it forever. Just doing it full time. But there's other reasons why 2021 was such a magical year, such a special year. Has to do with some of the years leading up to that. We'll see that for another day.
Good morning, everyone. We are gonna head back to town.
Eat some food.
Get on trekking.
This morning we're heading from Jakarta up to Trolong High Camp, 4,200 meters up to 48. And then tomorrow we're going to head through Trolong Pass, which will be the highest point in our trek at 5,400 meters, which will take us above the height of Everest Base Camp. Thankfully, it's a short day, but it's definitely a cold morning. We're walking further and further away from the Annapurna Massif, and the dip isn't getting any smaller. It just shows the scale of it. These are massive 7,000 meter peaks. I think some of them are approaching 8,000 meters. It's just unfathomable. Unfathomable for whole day. I'm intentionally breathing in as much as I can. It's giving me so much power. We're at 4,700 meters. Almost as high as when we were climbing to Tolucho Lake. We'll find this way easier. Probably have about 10 kilograms less. Maybe just 8. But my breathing is so much better than it was before. And then there's Harmon Hope. Absolute legend. He's a Billy Girl legend. I'm so grateful for our players. They are just absolutely crushing it, making it so much easier for us to do this. Alright, sleeping in a tent last night was nice, but this is also pretty. Today was supposed to be one of our hardest days, and honestly, I feel like it just crushed it. Felt so good. Felt so good today. That was the most dramatic inclination that we had on the entire trip, up to 4,800 meters. I wasn't carrying as much as the one we did 5,000 meters, but I feel Acclimatize, feel good, I feel strong. We were fairly close to those mountains a couple days ago and we just keep hiking away, and yet they don't seem any further. They're just massive. Everything here in the Himalayas is supersized. Let me show you where we are on the map. Where we are at this little camp thing. At 4,800 meters. Tomorrow, going up over Throw Pass, which will be 5,400 meters, which is maybe 100 or 200 meters higher than Mount Everest Base Camp. We make our way through Throw Pass, which should be absolutely beautiful, to Maktadat. From there, and we're spending the night and taking the jeep all the way around to Gandrak, where we're going to be starting leg 2 of the journey up to Annapurna Base Camp. Definitely feeling like here at 4,800 meters. I do have a prescription for Diamox, which is it aids with altitude sickness. What it basically does, it allows you to breathe deeper, and I guess as a result, you get more oxygen into your bloodstream, and it combats altitude sickness. I haven't taken it yet. I hope not to take it, though I will take it if I need it. I really hope to adapt my body to altitude. But it's cool, and I'd like to continue to push my limits in the near future. Pretty surreal being here. Getting an amazing view of Annapurna 4. I think that's 3, both well over 7,000 some odd meters in elevation. This is it. Another amazing end to an awesome day. The Himalayas just keeps on giving. What an incredible place. Well, we're gonna head back to camp, eat some dinner, head off to bed. We got an early morning tomorrow, so we'll probably just leave it there for today. See you guys in the morning. Alright, we are starting bright and early today. I believe it's 5 a.m., 4:35 a.m. And we have 600 meters of ascent and 1,800 meters of descent. We're going up through Throwlong Pass. This is going to be the highest point of the entire trek at 5,400 meters. Slightly higher than Everest Base Camp. Seems like a demanding day, but should be absolutely beautiful once the sun comes up. So the reason we got out so early this morning is because Thurlong Pass is notorious for high winds, and we want to beat those because we don't want to mess with Mother Nature. In fact, 10 years ago, back in 2014, a freak snowstorm came through this area in mid-October. Something like 400 trekkers had to be extracted, and it killed something like 43 people total, which is absolutely insane and super horrifying. When it comes to Mother Nature, you don't want to mess with it. at the top of Charlong Pass. It's the highest point on the Annapurna Circuit track. We're a couple hundred meters above Everest Base Camp, about half the oxygen that you'd experience at sea level. I definitely feel it, though. I feel a lot more acclimatized than I did when we did Tolicho Lake. I feel so much stronger, so much more energy. It was an amazing morning. It's fun to be up here. There's some beautiful mountains around here, and they're just so tempting. They kind of call to you in a way. 1,800 meters of descent, and stage 2 of this trek. 4 years ago, if you had told me that I'd be here hiking the Himalayas as a full-time content creator, I think you're crazy. My life 4 years ago was so dramatically different that it's incomprehensible. I was at a low in my life. To be honest, that's a bit of an understatement. I was at rock bottom. And if I didn't make some lifestyle changes, some very dramatic lifestyle changes 4 years ago, basically to the day, not only would I not be here filming content in the Himalayas and living out my dream, I very well might not even be alive. I'll get to that part of the story in a bit, but first it's probably best to speak to something else too. Alright, we've descended 1,800 meters today. We're almost at the town of Mukdana, where we're going to be staying tonight. And we're greeted by another 8,000 meter peak. This is Dari Giri, I believe is how you say it. I'm probably messing that up, but that's the second 8,000 meter peak we've been lucky to see. The first one being Mansulu. We're going to see one more when we make it to Annapurna Base Camp, and that'll be Annapurna 1, which I cannot wait to see. What a beautiful and ornate place. So we're in Mukdanak now, and I think this trip might be divided into 2 parts, but no, the adventure continues. It feels like we're in a different country. It's really interesting. Hey, what's my name? What's my name? Lambu Sherpa. Lambu Sherpa. Lambu Sherpa or very Sherpa in Annapurna Shaki. He's all very strong mind. So they gave me a Sherpa name. My name is Lambu Sherpa. And Aziz was saying, I finally got you a name. It's Ugly Sherpa. Lambu Sherpa. I'm like, oh, okay, thank you. I'll be Ugly Sherpa from now on. And he's slowly just like, oh yeah, because you're so, like this, and everybody else is like here, like this. And we're like, ugly? Oh, you mean tall? Oh yeah, I'm like, ugly means unattractive. So no, you're tall Sherpa. So I'm Lambu Sherpa, meaning tall Sherpa. Not ugly. But Ugly Sherpa is kind of funny. You don't listen. Did you get one? Best one.
So yesterday I started developing this cough, and then really quickly progressed into like a sore throat and like a little bit of breathing problems. So yeah, I didn't get much sleep last night. Feeling really off, feeling really sick, and I'm just hoping that it hasn't the infection hasn't spread too much. But I've started some antibiotics. I brought some with me for respiratory issues, including pneumonia. Hopefully it's not that. I did wake up a few times in the middle of the night, like trying to breathe. It was kind of scary, but fingers crossed it gets better. We have a pretty easy day today. It's just taking a jeep from one town to the next, about 6 hours. So today's a bit of a rest day, which is good. Hopefully it clears up. And on a plus note, I sound really sexy, like a sexy man. We're gonna get some actual coffee today. Hopefully, we've been drinking this milk coffee stuff for the last 10 days, and it's not the same. It's real coffee, so. We've just arrived in Gropani, for the second leg of our trip. Alright, awesome. Good morning, everyone. I feel alive today. I got so much rest. I feel great. Well, it's the next day. I don't think I could have gotten sick at a better time. We came out of the high pass and started developing that cough. And then 2 nights ago, I had one of the worst sleeps of the trip. Just like it was hard to breathe. And then I woke up in the morning with such a sore throat. I was quite worried that I wouldn't be able to continue the trip, but fortunately we had full day just being in the car. Slept in a hot springs. And when we got to this town, I just slept for like 5-6 hours during the day. Ate some food, went back to sleep. Got like another 8 hours of sleep last night, and honestly today, I feel great. Still have a pretty sore throat, but I feel like I've been recharged quite a bit. What's cool about being on this side is that the pahadon floor is way different. Look at the size of these spruce needles. They're gigantic. I've never seen any kind of coniferous tree this lush. This is just gigantic. These boughs would be amazing bedding. We're at 3,200 meters right now, and on the other side of Annapurna, on the north side, you didn't have trees like this. It was not as green, as tropical as we were experiencing here. And Harmon was also saying that in the Alps, At 3,200 meters, you would not have trees like this. This is the south slope of these mountains. It's definitely getting more sunlight, probably getting a lot more moisture as well. We're experiencing it as we walk. There's a lot more clouds. We're feeling the moisture in the air as well. So totally different environment to this part 2 of the adventure.
The rain and wind always come from the Indian Ocean. From the south, so this side gets probably a lot more precipitation in the northern slopes.
We're on the south side of the mountains, and it feels like a totally different country, totally different trip. Lush, it's wet, it's absolutely beautiful, and honestly, this has been some of the best trekking of the trip for me so far. Real quick, first half of the trip started here in Chame, north of Annapurna. We dipped here to Palicho Lake, back around through the pass to Mukman, and then we jumped in Jeep over here to Gorpani. I think here we're in Kimron. To finish it off, we gotta dip up here to ABC, Annapurna Base Camp. So obviously a lot went into planning this trip. And the convenient thing is, none of it was done by Harmon and myself. We outsourced all of the planning to a guy in a trekking company called Himalayan Glacier, and they made this trip so easy for us. I basically told him we wanted to do something around Annapurna. We worked closely with Chad, the organizer of Syndicate, and he basically worked this whole thing out for us. I told him I wanted to go to Annapurna Base Camp. Harmon wanted to see the north side of the Annapurna circuit, so we did this whole thing this way, and so far it's worked out absolutely excellently. So happy with working with our guide Ashish, and of course our 2 porters Sanjib and Sam. It's just been such an amazing experience just because of all the help that we received. We basically show up in town. Ashish has already organized our rooms. They have food basically ready for us, and it's just allowed Harmon and myself to focus on filming, acclimatizing, and just enjoying our hike in general. So super stoked working with Himalayan Glacier. If you guys are interested in doing a Himalayan trek at any point in your life, which if you watch this video up to this point, I'm sure some of you have really considered it, check out Himalayan Glacier. They're an amazing glacier. To get to that music.
Osna gindahan ng baba. Kasi gindahan ng 16. Ba.
Bright early, the sun is up. We're back on the trail in the beautiful Himalayas. Good view out there. Even though I got really it's just nice to be out here.